All right, the Milwaukee Bucks have been talking to Giannis about his future. Let's go through some of the possible landing spots. All right, first of all, could Giannis just stay in Milwaukee? Short-term, yes. Long-term, probably not. The Bucks have no assets and barely any draft picks available. This team is really centered around Giannis. The Bucks are under both aprons. That's a salary cap thing. So they're not in a bad financial place. But overall, they don't have much to offer. So bringing somebody else to pair with Giannis in Milwaukee will be tough. Let's start with the Knicks. I don't really see that happening. Realistically, the only reason they're in the hunt is because Giannis himself said he would like to play there. But the Knicks don't have much to offer after giving up 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. So realistically, Karl Anthony Towns would have to be the one they trade for. I don't really see that moving the needle for the Bucks. This would have to be the only option Giannis offers in order for that to be a deal. So I'm not going to be too heavy on the Knicks for now. Another one floating around there is Houston. This is a team that's already kind of set up for success right now. I'm not saying they're going to go all the way, but what are they going to realistically give Milwaukee? I'm talking about someone like Sengun, who's a great player for them and how they play the game right now in Houston. So I wouldn't give him up. Sure, I would give him up for Giannis, but I don't think that would be all they offer. Houston would really have to rock the boat to make the Giannis thing work. Plus, keep in mind that leaves Milwaukee with Sengun and Miles Turner. That won't mesh really at all. So I don't really see it happening, but it is floating out there. Another popular one we've been hearing forever, Golden State Warriors. They do have a lot of first-round picks to offer, and Milwaukee is really looking to get back into their draft picks. I don't know if the Warriors have enough player assets to make it work. You'd have to give up someone like Kuminga and Draymond Green. But if you're the Bucks, I think you can get more for Giannis. So I don't see this happening. It would be a big retool for the Warriors, a team really in need of it to kind of push the dynasty a little longer. But overall, I don't see it happening, but that's out there. One team that I do think is a real threat is the San Antonio Spurs. They have a few first-round picks over the next 5 years to offer. Plus, they can give away someone like Stephon Castle, which would be valuable to Milwaukee. Overall, I think the Spurs are deep enough to take that hit, losing a player like Castle and fitting in Giannis. I'm not saying that that's enough to get in return for Giannis, but it is a realistic option for a team that kind of doesn't have too many choices. But there is one better option to save for last, the Atlanta Hawks. This is probably the best fit for a trade for Milwaukee. Realistically, Trae Young would be included in a deal for Giannis, so it's not as if you're pairing the two up in Atlanta. Either way, Trae Young does have a player option for next year that's pretty chunky, so I'm sure he would opt into that. But aside from that, the Hawks have good picks to offer. They have great player assets to offer, unlike these other teams involved. They can include Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, who's more of a defensive player but great. I know Milwaukee would really go after Jalen Johnson, who's having a great year. He's averaging about 20 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds. Could easily be an all-star this year. Atlanta has the most to offer. I think the only knock on them is that a win-now situation for Giannis, and would he want to go there? I don't know what's going to happen, but Atlanta's a real threat in the Giannis race.